Are you interested in truth?
Yeah.
If you're interested in truth, wait, but it doesn't matter whose mouth it comes from.
No.
If you're interested in truth.
Let me tell you.
He already answered your question. That's it.
I went on his channel and he picks on Muslims that probably don't know anything.
Like Hamza's Den. Like Hamza's Den, by the way. Like Sheikh Uthman. Sheikh Uthman don't know nothing. Sheikh Uthman don't know nothing. Ali Dawah don't know nothing. That Sheikh over there.
Too much. Every time I go on his channel, he turns it off. Yeah.
I just talked to a Sheikh who told me to leave.
I'm saying to him, right, you're good. When I ask him any questions about the Bible and this historical,
okay.
He's
Wait.
But
the point is right. He's answering the question from your paradigm, which you can't answer. But even if we remove your paradigm from the equation, I answered my question.
Yeah, he's already answered it. He answered it in full.
Paradigm. And when I asked you for a response to what I said, you didn't have
I want to debate with Avery. I want to debate with Avery. I can't debate with one,
Are you interested in truth? Are you interested in a debate?
No, right now. I want to debate with Avery.
All right, so he's not interested in truth.
No. It's not that I'm not interested in truth. It's not that. I don't misquote it. It's very
We're gonna about 3 more minutes and then we gotta move.
So I'm playing. If I'm Arsenal and I'm playing Manchester United, I can't have Man City involved as well. Do you understand? Let's keep focused.
If you're interested in truth,
because I'm asking. Because
otherwise, all you're interested in.
When you asked me a question on John and how we know who wrote the Gospels and stuff, did he answer that question?
No, because
I feel like he did.
Every
single entire manuscript of the Gospel of John has John's name on the cover of it.
Every single
It will say Gospel according to John. So we have a chain of tradition from the line of John, which tells us who wrote it. How do we know who wrote Tacitus? How do we know who wrote Thucydides, Polybius? How do we know who wrote these writings? Because there's a chain of people that attest to them, right? So when we read the Gospel of John in these early manuscripts, not only do the manuscripts on their title say who wrote them, but also the early church fathers who have received the tradition of the church tell us who wrote it. For example, Saint Alexander of Alexandria tells us who wrote it. For example, we have 5 ancient texts from before 150 years within the Gospel of John being wrote that attest to the authorship of the Gospels. Now, if you want to know, wait, if you want to compare this to other manuscripts of antiquities, Annals by Tacitus isn't attributed to him until 300 years later. Polybius isn't attributed to him until the time of Saint Jerome.
So it has everything to do with the subject. It has everything to do with the subject.
It's actually saying everything is anonymous in history, but it's not. We know that John wrote the Gospel of John because we have a chain of transmission which tells us who wrote the Gospel of John.
Good answer, bro.
Historians and church fathers who claim that John
How do you know John wrote John?
He just answered your question.
They've already answered the question.
How do you have the
validate for no real proof?
He just answered
He asked me question. I've answered it.
He just answered your. No, you didn't. You didn't answer my question.
Invalidate what he said.
This guy goes on the rant.
Yeah. 1 second. Invalidate what he said. He's already answered you.
No,
invalidate.
How do you know?
My answer is his answer. My answer is his answer. My answer. We are ahead. We are ahead. His answer is my answer.
Okay, so interact with what I just said to you. Wait, can you interact with what I just said to you?
No, you're talking to me about Tacitus and this, that.
Yeah, I'm showing you.
It's a simple question.
Wait. With all due respect, what I'm doing is I'm showing you.
One debate, we can have that after.
With all due respect, what I'm showing you is that you're using a skeptical lens over the New Testament that you're not willing to use when you apply to any other text of antiquity.
Exactly.
You're not willing to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, bring the sources next week.
Are you going to be online this week?
That's actually good for antiquity anyway.
135 after.
Yeah.
P45.
Okay. Well, P40. What date is P45?
I think it's 120 to 135 years after.
Okay.
That's the first book.
Wait, no. P45. Which one is P45? That manuscript.
That's Mark.
You sure?
Okay. Wait. Can I ask you a question? When's the earliest manuscript of Aristotle?
We're talking about the Bible, my friend.
But when you do textual criticism,
no, this is the point.
When you're doing textual criticism, right? it's important that we actually use a rational method to conduct when we look at recreating an original text, right? So your point is that the earliest manuscript of Mark is 100 years after, right? If you actually compare this to other manuscripts of antiquity, this isn't something that's uncommon or bad at all.
I agree.
For example,
I agree, but we're talking
Aristotle
about the
is
word of
over
God. Here's the thing, we're talking about the word
Aristotle's
of God.
1,000 years after it's
I don't care about Aristotle. I'm talking about
Thucydides is
the word
1,000 years
of
old.
God.
When you talk about history,
The earliest manuscript of John, we have fragments between
Papyrus 52, 120.
We talk about the
the whole
whole.
one, for like whole Bible. The earliest whole Bible, I think we have.
yeah, that's the one he's talking about. Yeah, P45.
400 was it 400?
That's like 200.
You're talking about Codex Vaticanus and Sinaiticus in the 300s
When it
AD.
comes to
That's what
like
you're
the
talking about.
manuscripts, the earliest complete ones are around mid second century.
Yeah.
Second century.
But these are complete.
Yeah.
And we have early.
So that's a long time.
That's not a long time.
It's not.
That's not a long time. That's not a long time in textual criticism.
We have earlier than fragments. We have
Yeah.
earliest time.
Wait,
Notice how all of these scholars say that they're written in the first century. All of them.
So
the copies we have are later.
we believe.
No,
and
wait, let me say what I'm saying.
60
Yeah.
Mark,
The-
60, maybe Luke.
They're in the
70,
yeah,
80,
they're in the first century. First
But
century.
we don't have the actual Luke, Mark, John.
We don't have the autographs, so
No, this is important.
Why?
Because this is important. Right?
Why?
Because these were copies of copies of copies.
so?
Yeah?
Copies.
So
what did
scribes
Luke
make
Exactly.
error. Scribes make error. When you have
What is- wait,
errors,
what's an error? What do you mean by error?
So, let's say I'm writing something down. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I say to Avery, blah 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 blah. I read you a long paragraph.
Yeah. Let's say Avery walked in the park.
But it's not going to be just.
Can
Avery.
I ask you a
Let's say-
question?
So no, I'm talking to Avery. So then,
talking to all of us. You're talking to all of us.
then Avery made. Then you told Avery. You told someone else. Then you told someone else. Then you told someone else. They're all written.
Okay, my
Now we
friend,
see-
can I
so
show
for
you
example,
why this is a
Bartman
really
talks
bad
about this.
analogy?
Bartman talks. So we had in Alexandria.
Is that okay,
There were
Lawrence?
different
Yeah,
to the
yes.
Bibles in Antioch. There were different to the other Bibles within the Jerusalem. They're all different manuscripts. All they say is they were
Okay.
different. There was thousands of mistakes.
Okay,
Thousands.
wait, before you chime in, can I just say
He
one
knows
thing?
what they
One
can.
thing. Can I just say one thing, because I've been waiting.
If the differences were big, then we would see it reflected in the beliefs of the early church fathers.
That's right.
Now we actually have their letters. And we have what they believed. And what they believed confirms what are in those gospels.
Not everything.
So you don't
Not
have the
everything.
Yes, it is.
gospels. We have the letters of them, and these are disciples of the disciples, and we have that lineage all the way through until the Nicaea.
That kind of sounds like a Sahih chain, kind of like.
Oh, chain of narration. That's crazy.
Okay.
So we do have that chain, and in those, by the way, these are people, by the way, who like martyred.
Yeah.
So we actually have their stuff because they're big events.
Can I just say what I was going to say to you? Okay, so your point was that it was kind of like Chinese whispers. The reason why this is really bad is because in Chinese whispers, the person who speaks at the start never speaks again. However, what was happening in the chain of transmission is no one is burning the manuscript that they've just copied down from. No one can never whisper it again. For example, in church lectionary readings, they read these things over again. They're memorized by early Christian communities. In fact, if you read the writings of St. Jerome, he'll tell you how little girls had to memorize entire portions of the book of Psalms in order to be received into the church, so on and so forth. So what you're positing is that it's similar to Chinese whispers, but it's absolutely nothing like it, because they can always go back to the manuscripts and check it. Any textual variant that you're likely pointing to is likely to be a minor difference. People always state that there's 400,000 textual variants, but they lack. What they don't say is that there's 4.5 million pages of New Testament. That comes out to about one variant per 7.5 pages. If you think about that, a variant can be as small as a spelling difference, right?
An article.
No,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
There's thousands of those.
Okay, so the point is that it's not significant at all. So wait, before you finish, I'm just about to go. So if you want to say that the New Testament is corrupt, the problem we're going to have is you're also going to have to say the entirety of texts from antiquity are corrupted as well. Because if you apply the same skeptical lens that you put over the New Testament,
So much of the Quran, it comes out of a Judeo-Christian.
Wait, no.
You need to know.
You said there's so much in the Quran that what makes it
If you don't know the Bible.
if you don't know the Bible,
Yes.
brother, you're close. You're close. You're close.
Listen.
You're close.
No.
He's close.
Listen, let me just put it out there.
It wasn't flesh and blood that did that to
I
you.
respect the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm not one of the Muslims that I put the Bible on the highest shelf with the Quran. Yeah,
Nice.
I do, because I believe there's genuine words of God in there.
Okay,
yeah?
nice.
I'm not one of them.
What's your
No, there's no escort. There's a lot of Muslims that believe what I believe, but it's not about. But anyway, if then we have this group who are seen as the family of Jesus, yeah. I forget the name. It begins with D. It's in my phone. I'll go for it with you after. Yeah. They led many of the churches, and they were a diverse group. Pope Sylvester, they came to him and they said, "So this is only 200 years."
Yeah, but that's too much. That's going too far.
No.
We have to stay closer to the first
Listen,
century.
we're talking about the Injil that
Yes.
Quran mentions. Yeah?
Yes,
So
not
nearly
Pope,
there.
not
I'm nearly
anybody.
there. I'm nearly there. 200 years before this group has existed. Now, after 351, the Treaty of Nicaea.
You're at 351.
Yes,
Stay in one.
Creed. A lot. That's 325. Forgive me. 325. Many Christian groups were seen as heretic.
Okay, stop. Please.
Yes or no?
Wait, pause. Because look, guys, please. It's important that we take this one step at a time. You're in 325. I'm in 1 AD.
Okay.
That's what I'm focused on, in 1 AD, okay?